back to Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Now, this is a wonderful moment because I feel such beauty, I feel such splendor in the room. And it's Friday, and the brunch set is always buzzing. We have so many people from so many aspects and forums of Trinidad and Tobago. And so today we're going to speak on Miss Trinidad and Tobago 2024. Now, my very good friend, Mr. Nathaniel Nathan, is a staple of this event. And we took the time to really get to know him before. And it's a wonderful thing when you actually come into the Tobago space and have a experience in what we have to offer. So, Coco Velvet Agency, we say good morning to you and we say thank you so much for making us a part of what you're doing. So we get to meet the delegates, and this is what I've been waiting for so long, and it has finally arrived. Right? So I am officially happy. I'm officially proud. Today, my first delegate is Miss Ricia Ali-Lindow. And Miss Tobago 2024 beauty pageant is something that is a legacy. It's on its way to becoming just that. And so we speak to Ricia today. And before I introduce her, let me just make mention that the pageant is upon us. It's going to be held at the Shore Park Cultural Complex on February 4th, 2024, to select a Tobago delegate, a Tobagonian representative, who will travel to the sister isle of Trinidad. And Trinidad, good morning to you. And this is a part of the Coco Velvet International Fashion and Model Management Agency. They are producing the pageant with the support, of course, of the Tobago House of Assembly, Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, and the Office of the Prime Minister, Sports and Culture Fund. So let's speak to my lovely guest, Miss Ricia Ali-Lindow. Ricia, good morning to you.
Good morning, Janelle, and good morning, Tobago. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Just one little correction. I am not a delegate, although I wish I could be.
Yeah.
It was always a wish of mine to be a delegate in a beauty pageant, but that ship has long sailed.
Okay.
So my role with Coco Velvet International Fashion Management is to assist the delegates with their communication skills development. My role is the marketing and communications executive, where I get the privilege to support Christopher Nathan, who is the organizer of the establishment. And I get to work with the girls in helping them on their path to self-discovery and articulating who they are, not only in closed spaces, but definitely on a platform when they present themselves to the Tobago population, to the Trinidad population, and hopefully to the global, population as well.
What is the training like? Like an average day of training would include what?
Well, an average day for training for me would be taking the girls through a process of introspection where they get to learn themselves. Self-awareness and self-management is key in defining and refining who you are as a person and more so as a woman. Right? Because we are all unique, we are all different, we are the flowers of the world, and some of us may be purple, some may be yellow, some may be red, we are the rainbow of the world. And so bringing those qualities out and then defining using words and of course using action, like in the way that you walk, in the way that you talk, in your sense of style, and even in your aura, how you present yourself to the world. Those are some of the aspects that we work on when we have our sessions, how to articulate yourself in a way that is acceptable societally, and because at the end of the day, you're representing Tobago on a global scale, and so you really want to attract and appeal to those who in the audience because you want to get their support.
Yes. I love the fact that you take the time. I mean, time, this word time We say it so basic and
Yes.
so nonchalantly, but time, and you taking the time to really foster that growth and development.
Yes.
It's a wonderful thing because, we believe that when we represent, we
Yes.
should see ourselves as ambassadors as well. And we should represent well
Yes.
in whatever sphere, in whatever we endeavor to do. And this is so wonderful that you guys are taking this initiative. And
And just not to cut across, but
yes,
I'm happy that you picked up on that word, that key word called time. You know, the fact that you point it out as it being so casually tossed about, but for women, time is a very big deal for us.
yes,
A lot of our growth and development involves time. There is a time for us to reach a certain stage in life. There's a time for us to be married. There's a time for us to raise children. There's a time for us to have careers that we want. And so, while others may not think about it, it takes so much time to develop yourself and to develop others. And a lot of the times it goes unnoticed. And I think this is one of the pain points a lot of mothers or even caregivers can identify with. When you take the time to invest and to nurture, young people and people on a whole, it takes time, and I'm very happy to hear you, really pull that out. It
yeah,
says so
because
much.
it's
Yes.
it's something that really speaks to life
Yes.
on a whole.
Yes.
And no matter what, we need to be very realistic when we have certain conversations.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and when I met Christopher when he was here and he spoke so highly of his team, that stood out for me because sometimes you have people who prefer to be a one-man show,
Yes.
prefer to be a one-woman show,
Yes.
when there's a whole team that
Ah.
is doing the most.
Yes.
And that spoke so much to the type of agency you guys work at, the type of camaraderie you have, the type of understanding you have.
Yes.
So I was very, very pleased when, the initiative, came about and I started hearing about the Miss Tobago. And, I was very, very pleased and very, very honored that you guys took the time
Yes.
to really get in there and train and have those conversations, and make sure that representation is at its highest point.
Highest quality. And I
Yeah.
must say, it's such a joy working at Cocoa Velvet International, just because Christopher, he's such a great leader, and he onboards people who are so passionate about what they do. And let's face it, the creative sector is full of very passionate people.
Definitely.
And
Colorful.
yes, that's why I said we are the rainbow of the
Colourful,
world, okay?
yes.
And so it's really refreshing to working a space. Well, for me, my background is in finance, and so I am a creative at heart. And being able to express myself and to work with young people is also very refreshing for me, because it brings back a lot of my childhood memories and dreams that I had that I didn't get an opportunity to pursue because, life is lifing, right?
Happens.
And so, for a lot of parents out there, they may have their doubts about, getting their children involved in the creative sector as a whole, and even more so in fashion or in the arts, because they may think, well, there is no money in it, it's not lucrative, in the Caribbean there isn't much opportunities, but that is the furthest thing from the truth. If you look around, if you look at television, for instance, everything you see there is the arts. It's
Definitely.
media.
Yes.
It is creatives creating your world, and you didn't even know it. Are you aware that it is the creative community that is creating the world that you live in?
And bringing things to life.
Yes.
That's a wonderful thing, a wonderful
Yes.
place to be, a wonderful, time for creatives. A friend of mine said if we had none, we would have a very, very dull world if we
Yes.
had no creatives.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
having
much for
me.
being here.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with more brunch, a taste of Tobago. But our trivia question for today, let's just take a look at that. You realize I keep mentioning it because I want someone to get the answer. The Leeward Tobago beach was voted best beach in the Caribbean many, many times. The answer at the end of the show. We'll be right back with more brunch, a taste of Tobago, where we get to meet our wonderful, wonderful delegates. We'll be right back. We are back. We are back. We are back. It's such a wonderful day. A wonderful Friday on the island of Tobago. I am graced with such beauty and such elegance. And the brunch set just, you know, had so many, types and everybody's just so beautiful, so elegant, and just, really living life and doing things that they love to do. And it's a wonderful place to be right now. So I thank you for staying with us. I thank you for being a part of brunch. And, due to overwhelming interests in the Miss Universe and Miss World pageants, Trinidad and Tobago Fashion and Beauty Weekend package with 3 hotel partners offering special accommodation rates from February 2nd to 5th, 2024. Patrons can use the special code to book their rooms at Viola's, Comfort Inn and Suites, and the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort. Each patron booking the Tobago Fashion and Beauty Weekend package will receive a complimentary Platinum VIP all-access ticket to attend Making Style Tobago, the brand name of the pageant. And I absolutely love what you guys are doing. So thank you so much to Coco Velvet's agency. Thank you so much to Christopher Nathan. Oh my gosh, Ricia Ali-Lindow, thank you so much for being a part of our lives. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce a very beautiful daughter of the soil. And she walked in and there was this grace, there was this confidence, and there was this natural beauty. And she came and she sat down and she's poised and she's ready for whatever I decide to ask of her today. And this is one of the things that I'm so proud of. So I welcome to the set Miss Speyside Tobago, Monique Joseph. Monique, thank you so much for being a part of brunch. How are you? Let me ask you that first. How are you doing today?
I am doing so good. I'm very excited. I'm representing Speyside. That's home.
Yes.
So I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Tell me a little bit about what inspired you to take this journey to the Miss Tobago pageant.
Yes. So my inspiration is self-growth. Tobago is a small space and, pageants are few and far apart. So when I saw this, I was like,
Yeah.
this is something I want to be a part of. And thus far, it has exceeded my expectations.
I absolutely love when these types of opportunities arise.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a chance to grow, it gives you a chance to evolve.
Yes.
It gives you a chance to learn as much as you can. You're always going to be learning new things, always going to be meeting new people, having various conversations,
Yes.
And that is a wonderful thing as a human being. Growth is so important. What are some of the challenges that you faced upon entering the competition?
So I think a challenge for most persons is probably criticism. But despite criticism, you really have to see yourself as your best every time. It's okay to note criticism because some are positive, but you really have to have that thick skin, especially, among the Tobago space. You have to go past that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you said you have to go past it because it just seems like noise, and it just seems like a distraction. Do you
Yes.
get that? Do you get that
Yes,
feeling?
it
And
is.
so you choose what you want to let in. You
Yes,
choose what you
exactly.
want to come into your mind. You choose what you want to stay there. And if you're giving me noise and you're giving me negativity, then I am just going to go the opposite direction.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know there are so many challenges just being young people, just being a youthful person. There are challenges there. Being a young woman in today's society, there are challenges there. And so being involved in the pageant, being involved in this type of platform, where you get to express yourself. You get to express yourself freely
Yes.
and confidently. How does that feel for you?
It's really an honor. I always try to be a role model for young persons, even in my community or, among my peers. We really need to see ourselves as queens throughout life. I don't need a crown to portray grace and confidence and poise. So these are the type of things that you have to normalize within young girls.
Yes.
And yes.
How would you describe your personal style? If you had to give me in your own words, what would your personal style be?
My personal style, I like to switch it up. I dress for the occasion. So today I wanted to give classy and elegance.
Yeah.
Yes.
So classy, elegant.
Yes.
And then we put just a little bit of chic in there because it's definitely chic.
Thank
Because
you.
you went classy, you went elegant, but it's not just classy, it's a classic look.
Yes.
So it's very timeless. It can
Thank
go
you.
and you can wear it from now till the cows come home in 2030 and all these, and it is still going to be classy.
Yes.
And that's a wonderful, wonderful attribute to have. Did you have that light bulb moment where you felt like your self confidence is growing? Did you feel that upon entering the pageant?
Yes. Even now as I'm sitting here, I definitely feel like I've grown a lot. Our trainers, they have really poured into us. Really boosting our self-confidence, teaching us about deportment and, diet, stuff like that. It's really been an unforgettable experience.
One of the things that really stand out, and I said this earlier, when you enter into a platform such as a pageant, pageantry in its own, there's so many layers.
Yes.
Because you get there and you're not just representing your village, you're not just representing Tobago, you're representing yourself, but you are an ambassador. And so in your mind, it's like, okay, I have to represent and represent well.
Yes.
I have to represent with pride and honor and elegance, and these are so many of some of the things that I just said. This is something that you embody. I see you, I feel it from you. I feel it in the way that you express yourself. And this comes when you start out on that journey in getting
Yes.
to know yourself.
Yes.
And I believe that has been, at the pinnacle of you entering the pageant, getting to know yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think, if you had to give me a crucial issue, what would you speak on?
I would speak on probably violence. And as we talk about violence, sometimes it stems from different issues. It could be poverty and it could be education. So, that's a topic that is truly
Important.
important.
Yes,
Yes.
vital, yeah.
Yes. And so my cause for this pageant is going to be a literacy enhancing project,
Okay.
right? So what we're going to do is help young people in Speyside and environs to, learn the basics of reading and writing. Some students are truly left behind and they sort of give up, and they end up not passing their exams and not being able to enter the workforce. So I think that this initiative is really going to help in a wider picture deter persons from violence, because
With
they're going to
education.
be doing something positive with
Yes.
themselves.
And that's the thing. And we seem to sweep it under the carpet. So it's so amazing that you're saying this to me right now. Because I heard it so many times before that we need to educate
Yes.
in order to liberate ourselves. Mentally, some of us just aren't there because we were not in a place to receive a formal education. Reading and writing, we take for granted.
Yes.
Going to the bank and being able to sign your name, we
Yes.
take for granted. And I'm so loving the fact that you chose this route because it speaks so much. It's so candid. It's real. And that's the reality. That's life. That's what we deal with. That's what we're going through right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I also love the fact that you speak so well. It's like your tone, your tonal quality, your diction,
Thank you.
your confidence. And this comes with growth. So it takes me
Yes.
back to growth and also being so comfortable in your skin that you can speak intelligently on whatever topic is thrown at you.
Yes.
And this is also a part of growth.
Yes.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you guys would do? What is an average training session day like? What does that entail in terms of coming into the pageant and having like your one-on-one sessions? What does an average day entail for you?
Okay, so we focus a lot on communication. Like you said, diction,
Right.
being able to express yourself clearly. We also do a lot of walking. We do posture. We also do a lot of, self-care tips. Things that you wouldn't usually know that but you can see that it represents you.
Definitely.
Yes.
I had so much fun. I am so proud. I usually have all my words together and I'm speechless because I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of where you guys are at. I'm so proud of the way that you represent us. I'm so proud that you are so confident
Thank you.
in your uniqueness, in your culture, in your history. And so you represent with that sense of pride, that sense of honor. And, we just want to wish you all the best. We want to wish
Thank you.
so much blessings, so much peace, love, and light, so much success, in whatever you endeavor to do from here onward.
Yes.
And we thank you for being brave enough
Thank you.
to take this journey. So this was Miss Monique Joseph, Miss Speyside Tobago, and we had a lovely conversation. And like I said, we're going to be meeting the delegates, and it's going to be a wonderful time. So you guys need to stay tuned. Thank you so much, Monique,
Thank
for being
you.
with us. And we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with more Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. But before we do that, I have to mention this wonderful trivia question yet again. I think it's so interesting. I think, I'm feeling the vibe like someone should get this right. This Leeward Tobago beach was voted best beach in the Caribbean many times. Your answer at the end of the show. We'll be right back with more Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. welcome back to Brunch, a taste of Tobago. So like I said, guys, we are so privileged and honored to meet some of our delegates for the Miss Tobago pageant. Now, here's the thing. We are really taking the time to delve into the beauty and the talent that we have right here in Tobago. And for me, that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. And so I'm going to be talking to my next guest, Miss Golden Lane sits with me today, Vanessa Ortiz. And you know, Vanessa walked in and I cannot help but speak on the grace. I cannot help but speak on, you know, that elegance. And it's just like you're walking and you know, if there were palm trees, they would be swaying in rhythm. You know, it just felt like a whole vibe. And so I had to speak on that. So Vanessa, thank you so much for being a part of Brunch.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. How has it been so far? How has the journey been for you so far?
It has been one that tested my time management skills because I am currently pursuing my bachelor's in business management. I am an entrepreneur. I also am an employee of the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy. And now I have to also balance the pageant homework that I have from time to time.
Oh, yes. That homework. You have to get that homework done, you know, because you have to be on point. Because you want to represent and represent well. So you have to get that homework done. But what are some of the you know, the issues that would stand out for you? Like if you had to speak on a social issue that's plaguing your country or economy, what would you speak about?
The social issue I would speak about, it relates to the creative industry. As a fellow creative myself,
Yes.
I have seen where the creatives need a space to flourish.
Okay.
They need mentors, they need spaces where they can grow, spaces where their talents can be used for the betterment of Tobago on a whole. For example, France. A lot of persons go there to see the museum and the Eiffel Tower. Why don't we have persons coming here for all local talent and art? We need to start capitalizing on that, and that is what my initiative is about for the Tobago pageant. I'm focusing on art tourism, where it is our creatives have the opportunity to showcase their gifts and their talents to the world. And I remember being in a seminar recently for the division that I work for. And he attested to all the Caribbean islands having sun, sea, and sand as their brand. What does Tobago have to offer? Our creatives can now be the ambassadors for us and generate an income doing so.
I love it. I love it because I say this on the show all the time. Like, creatives are so special because they see color. The world is colorful. Textures and tones are a must. And if we did not have you guys,
Yes.
it will be a dull existence. And I love the fact that you're advocating for a space.
Yes.
Because we've been having this discussion ever since I could remember. And the discussion, the conversation, the implementation, it's not moving as fast or as rapidly as it should.
Yes.
You know, because when we look at the rest of the world,
They are far
they
ahead
are
of us.
far, yes, they are ahead of us. And advocating for the creative industry is something that needs to be done because we need to be able to market ourselves as well.
So that's why I'm marketing myself today.
Definitely, yes.
Because I'm an aspiring fashion designer, so I have on my design today.
Oh, so this is...
Yes.
So, you guys saw it for the first time on Brunch. Vanessa Ortiz presents Couture, and this is her personal design. So you guys know, we don't have spring chickens or anything in this pageant. We have lovely ladies. We have intelligent, graceful, elegant, beautiful ladies before us. And I love the fact that you guys are receiving that opportunity
Yes.
where you can showcase and showcase well. Yeah. What was one of your challenges getting involved in the pageant? I know that you mentioned time management
Yes.
being like such an issue for you. And you had to sink or swim,
Yeah.
basically, and overcome that. But what else would you say stood out in terms of, okay, you know what, this is gonna be a challenge for me? What would that be?
The other challenge I believe I faced would be keeping up with appearances because you cannot afford to slip. Persons are looking on,
Right.
and you have to be on your A game at all times. You have to be well polished before you go into the public space because you are now someone that persons are looking up to, and you have to be very mindful and careful of your behavior in the public.
What would you showcase your talent? What is your talent? What is Vanessa Ortiz going to showcase for us in our talent segment?
My talent would be singing. In Signal Hill Secondary, that's the high school I attended, I
Right.
participated in music festival. I also had my opportunity to be a chorister in the church where I grew up. I would do a lot of specials, conduct song service. So singing is my talent.
Right. And fashion, style, pageantry. In times before, we would look at beauty pageants and we would very much class beauty pageants in a specific box. And there were a select few who did not really see the need for having a beauty pageant. They didn't see the need for empowerment of our young ladies. And so for Tobago, this is a large milestone, it's a large stepping stone.
It is.
And you are so privileged to be a part of the journey. You're so privileged to be a part of this is change, but it's also a legacy that we plan on continuing. It's also something that we endeavor to have grow from
Yes,
strength to strength.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Who are some of the persons that you met that you would mention on your journey?
I would like to mention Mr. Nathan first of all. Initially, I signed up for the Making Style workshop to advance my business. That would be the fashion design and styling. And Mr. Nathan would have attested to my potential. And I said, you know what, I'll give this a try. I'll try it. What could possibly go wrong? And I have not regretted making that decision thus far. It has empowered me. It has given me the opportunity to grow a bit more because as you grow, you should always be seeking personal development. I was also happy to meet with Mr. Daniel Clark. He is the facilitator for the fashion design and styling. And I have been able to improve on some of my techniques based on his guidance. We also have Miss Ricia Ali-Lindow, Mrs. Ricia Ali-Lindow. She
Right.
would have been our communication specialist, helping us to be prepared for this interview. One, the way we carry about ourselves in the public. Mrs. Giselle Aron West, Miss World 1986, she has been one of our facilitators, teaching us the tips and tricks to walk, the way we should move, what is expected of us. And I am so grateful that I've had the opportunity to meet with these persons, as well as our sponsors, the persons who have done our makeup, Let's Shine Limited, Miss
Yes.
Abigailette. And it has been amazing to network with also my fellow delegates. They are all wonderful ladies.
Yes, indeed. What about fashion? Do you believe that fashion could be a powerful forum for self-expression? How do you feel about that?
I definitely agree with that because there are different styles. There is streetwear, there's the classy and sophisticated woman, there's boho chic. I identify with the classy and sophisticated woman. And
Yes, you do.
you would see it when a person walks by you, adorned in their personal style. You can tell the kind of person they are based on their personality. Not all the time, or not all the time though, because as much as I am classy and sophisticated, my friends can attest to me being a bubbly and vibrant person. So it isn't always a reflection of you as a person, but it's just something that you like and you prefer to wear certain particular styles and clothing.
Definitely. But are you, because I am seeing so much growth in you guys. It's not even funny. Do you even do you even have in your mind how much of an ambassador you are to this island of Tobago?
Yes.
And are you ready and willing to take on that challenge of carrying that torch?
Yes, I am. I had a presentation just recently at school where we had to discuss what we see ourselves doing in the next 5 to 10 years,
Right.
what your definition of success would be. And one of my main points would be being an inspiration. And I've had the opportunity thus far to do that on various occasions, but twice at career fairs on the island, showcasing my talent. And I remember there was this one young lady. She
Yeah.
came in her measuring tape and her meter rule. And while I was presenting, you could see the joy on her face. And it felt really good to be a part of that, because I really wished when I was going to school, I had the opportunity to see someone like that being presented at the career fairs, as well as being able to present at the Association of Female Executives Trinidad and Tobago, their September members meeting. I was a presenter there, and that was amazing to be a part of where it is. I got to share my story. So all of these things are what I am grateful for.
You know, one of the things that really stands out, I mean, we take it for granted, but public speaking. Now, I know this is something that you guys delved really, really deeply into, because if I know Christopher Nathan, he is going to make sure.
Yes, best quality.
Yes, and Miss Ricia Linda would make sure that you guys are so confident, because you cannot escape having to speak in public. You cannot escape that forum that you have to say something. You have to make some statement or
You
a
have to advocate.
sentence. And so what was that like? Were you always confident at speaking, you know, in a forum, in a conference, in front of a group of persons? Did you always have that confidence, or did it grow as you entered the pageant?
I would say I had it prior to the pageant. I am a member of the Rotary Club of Tobago, sorry, and that is a part of the Rotary International family. But prior to that, I was a member of the Interact Club of Southwest Tobago, and that started my journey in public speaking, where it is I was the vice president as well as the international service director.
Right.
And I am now a part of the Phoenix Society as well as the assistant public relations officer.
Okay.
So this is something I have to do on the regular. So it had to come naturally with time.
Yeah, and the confidence. What about debate club? Were you like in a debate club at school?
No, I
'Cause
shied away from those.
I'm sensing debating somewhere in there, but you just said no. So okay, I was off with that one. But I felt, you know, there's a confidence that you have, there's a charisma that you have.
Thank you.
And this is natural to you, but I think being involved in this journey, you have blossomed and you have grown.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would you like to say to the persons watching? If you had to inspire someone today, what would you tell them?
I would say go after your purpose. When you find your purpose and you intentionally pursue it, a lot of doors open for you. And there is nothing anyone can say or do that can deter you from that once you have that solidified in your mind.
Definitely. And, you know, we just want to thank you so much for basically being brave enough to take this journey, you know, from our family to yours. Of course, we wish you blessings, love, peace, light, and also success.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, in whatever you endeavor to do.
Thank
So
you.
this was Miss Speyside, Vanessa Ortiz,
Miss
and
Golden
real
Lane.
Vanessa Ortiz,
Miss
Miss Golden Lane. My apologies, Miss Golden Lane, and Miss Speyside was here earlier. So let me just correct that. So this is Miss Golden Lane, Miss Vanessa Ortiz, and representing very, very well. We just want to thank all of the sponsors, thank everyone involved in this institution. Coco Velvet, we love you. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for being a part of what we're doing in Tobago. You know, Christopher Nathan, I cannot stop calling your name because I feel like you just kind of just trailblazed and got everyone else involved. And of course, Ricia Ali-Lindow, thank you so much for being a part of this journey as well. So just a couple things before I break. You know, 9 delegates will be selected to compete for the Miss Tobago 2024 title and be one step closer to participating in next year's Miss World pageant on January 21st, 2024 at the semifinals competition, which will be held at the terrace of the Comfort Inn and Suites Hotel in Scarborough. You know, I just felt that you guys needed to know that because I know that so many people are really looking out and really wanting to see what these beautiful ladies are going to be doing. So we're going to take a break.